The small coastal town of Clearwater, Oregon, was known for its salty air and foggy mornings. Inside a little cafe overlooking the ocean, Ethan Cole adjusted his worn jacket and checked his phone again. His sister had set him up on a blind date, something he swore he'd never agree to. Ethan was 32, a diesel mechanic who spent most of his days repairing fishing boats and trucks. Grease under his nails, windburn on his face, and a quiet loneliness that came from years of working too hard and dreaming too little. His sister's message popped up on the screen. Table near the window. She's wearing a red scarf. Ethan scanned the cafe. Near the window sat a woman with auburn hair, indeed wearing a red scarf, her hands wrapped around a mug of tea. She looked graceful, but something about her posture seemed different. Not tense, just fragile, as if the world had once hit her too hard. Taking a breath, Ethan walked over. "Hi," he said awkwardly. "I'm Ethan. Are you waiting for someone?" The woman looked up, surprised. "I am, actually. My brother, but he's always late. Are you—" Ethan chuckled nervously. "My sister set me up on a blind date. She said I'd find a woman in a red scarf by the window. So I guess that's you?" The woman smiled softly. "I think you might be at the wrong table, Ethan." He flushed. "Oh, wow, I'm sorry. I'll let you get back to your tea." But instead of letting him go, she laughed, light, genuine, and musical. "Don't be sorry. You've officially made this the most entertaining morning I've had in weeks. Sit down, at least until your mystery woman shows up." Ethan hesitated, then smiled. "You sure you don't mind?" "I'd actually like the company," she said. "I'm Clara Matthews, by the way." He sat, feeling oddly at ease. They started talking about coffee, about the sea, about how Clearwater was both beautiful and lonely. Ethan mentioned his small workshop near the docks. Clara's eyes lit up. "You fix boats?" she asked. "Mostly the ones old men refuse to let die," he said, chuckling. "Engines and I get along better than people," she grinned. "I know that feeling. I used to be an engineer before the accident." Ethan's eyes flicked to the side of the table, and that S when he noticed the wheelchair for the first time. He hadn't seen it because of the tablecloth. Clara noticed his surprise and smiled kindly. "A hiking fall. Spinal injury 4 years ago. Life changed overnight. My brother still treats me like I'm glass." Ethan nodded quietly. "That must be a lot." She shrugged. "It is sometimes, but it also made me see who really sees me." Her words struck something deep in him. "Yeah," he said softly. "Some people only see what's missing, not what's still there." They talked for nearly an hour, and Ethan found himself forgetting the awkwardness of a blind date gone wrong. Clara was sharp, funny, full of quiet fire. When she spoke about her past projects, bridges, turbines, renewable energy, her eyes came alive. Then a man in a dark trench coat entered the cafe, his expensive watch flashing under the lights. "Clara," he said, exasperated. "You didn't answer your phone." She smiled politely. "Ethan, this is my brother, Daniel Matthews." Daniel nodded stiffly. "You are?" "Ethan Cole," he said, offering his hand. "Mechanic. I sat at the wrong table." Daniel didn't take his hand. "I see." His tone made it clear that he didn't approve. "Clara, our table is ready." "Actually," Clara said, glancing at Ethan, "I'd like to finish my tea, if that's okay." Daniel sighed. "Fine, just don't tire yourself." Ethan's jaw tightened. "She seems perfectly capable to me." Daniel frowned, but Clara laughed again. "Don't mind him. He means well, just hasn't realized I'm not broken." Ethan smiled. Then he should look closer. When they finally parted, Clara handed him a napkin with her number scribbled on it. "For when your real date doesn't show again," she said with a wink. That call came the next day, and then another, and another. Weeks passed. They met again and again at the docks, the library, the beach where seagulls cried over the surf. Ethan learned how to fold her wheelchair into the back of his truck without being awkward. Clara taught him to stop apologizing for everything. They shared coffee, silence, laughter, and small acts of understanding. But Daniel still didn't trust him. He couldn't believe his sister, once an award-winning engineer, now rebuilding her independence, would fall for a man who fixed engines for a living. Then came the storm. A winter gale tore through Clearwater, flooding the harbor and destroying Ethan's small workshop. He stood knee-deep in water, watching his tools float away. And through the chaos came headlights. Clara's van. She rolled out, laptop in hand, calm despite the wind. "You didn't think I'd let you handle this alone, did you?" In minutes, she was coordinating volunteers, setting up a logistics system, rerouting local aid with her old engineering precision. Even Daniel, who arrived later, froze in awe. His sister, whom he'd pitied for years, was commanding an operation like she was born for it. Ethan looked at Daniel. "Still think she needs protecting?" Daniel's face softened. "No, she's stronger than both of us combined." The following week, Ethan rebuilt his shop with her help. New tools, better systems, even a wheelchair-accessible entrance that he refused to let anyone else install. On a quiet Sunday morning, the sea calm again, Ethan invited Clara to the shop. He'd cleaned it top to bottom. In the middle of the floor stood a small table covered in candles, seashells, and a single wrench, the first tool he ever bought. Clara rolled in, smiling. "What's all this?" Ethan took a deep breath. "You once told me life doesn't end when the plan changes. You were right. The wrong table, the wrong day, led me to you." He knelt, eye level with her. "Clara Matthews, will you let me spend my life proving that love doesn't need fixing, only seeing?" Tears filled her eyes. "Yes, 1,000 times yes." They married in spring. Daniel walked her down the aisle, eyes misty but proud. When he handed her hand to Ethan, he whispered, "Thank you for showing me who she really is." At the reception, the wind rolled off the ocean, carrying laughter and the sound of seagulls. Ethan lifted his glass and said, "Sometimes the wrong table is the right beginning. Sometimes the mistakes that break your plans build your purpose." And everyone knew. It wasn't just a love story. It was a story about seeing people as they are, not as the world expects them to be. So if you ever find yourself sitting at the wrong place, at the wrong time, remember Ethan and Clara, because maybe that wrong turn isn't an accident. Maybe it's the moment life finally gets it right.